Alright, what's going on YouTube? Chapter 1084 has officially dropped. The attempted murder of a celestial dragon. Let's break it down. So this chapter starts with a flashback of the reverie, and the mission is to save Kuma. Bonnie was here before she came to Egghead Island, and she went to Egghead in order to find a cure for her father. Starting with Jewelry Bonnie, she teams up with Sabo in order to help find her father Kuma. As some guards approach, Sabo quickly grabs her and jumps into the hiding, and one of the guards mentions the lack of guards, to which another guard says they have been taken away because they saw the Phantom Room. Now this is actually extremely important, and we can actually see Sabo reacting to it as if it means something very important, and this is not the first time that we've seen guards being taken away. Who's Who is a great example. The guard that told Who's Who about Sun God Nika was actually taken away, and I think this is actually kind of important because there are certain things that certain ranking members cannot understand or are not allowed to know. Admirals and the Gorosei, they probably know certain things that a lot of officers and younger ranking people aren't supposed to know, right? And when they do find those things out, they can be punished. And if you look at the previous chapters with Imu, I think it's actually pretty obvious what this Phantom Room actually is. Since it's called the Phantom Room, I assume it has some sort of connection to ghosts, and when Imu walks through this room, it seems like it's frozen and being preserved. So this room with the giant straw hat could very well be the Phantom Room because it seems like the things in this room are very old and being preserved, kind of like ghosts, right? So I think that might be the Phantom Room. I could be wrong, but it seems like a good connection. Now moving the focus to King Cobra, he is pressing the Gorosei about Queen Lily of Alabasta, and to make it short, when the 20 royal families were made into celestial dragons, Queen Lily of Alabasta did not become a celestial dragon, and she did not decide to become immortalized. Cobra says after looking through all his kingdom's ancient texts, her name is not mentioned even once, which obviously shouldn't be the case since she basically founded the New World Government with 19 other royal families. 20 royal families were supposed to place a weapon in front of the empty throne, but since Lily is missing, it seems there are only 19 weapons. I'm pretty sure someone had a theory about this earlier on, how there were only 19 weapons. I'm not sure if that was already a theory. I'm pretty sure someone had that theory, but so basically if you haven't figured it out yet, Cobra is having his Ohara moment, and this is probably why they had him killed because the Gorosei look so shocked and they don't even really have a good rebuttal. So I think Cobra is definitely onto something. Now the old geezers make up an excuse and say they don't know what happened, but this is obviously cap, but Cobra expected them to say this and catches them in another lie. Now this is when Cobra asks about the will of D, and the Gorosei seem extremely upset, and Cobra says Queen Lily wrote a secret letter to her younger brother and has been passed down generation after generation, just like the poneglyphs. Now going back to chapter 218, Robin tells Cobra she was looking for the one true poneglyph, the one that tells the actual history. Cobra says if this is not the true poneglyph, then why have they been protecting it? It seems like Queen Lily, after sending the letter, also made sure the poneglyph would be protected. Both of these things, the poneglyph and the letter, were given to the Nefertari family to protect. I think Queen Lily told her younger brother to keep it safe, but the question is why? If it's not the true poneglyph, then what significance does it have? And what significance does the will of D have if Lily went as far as to write a whole note that has to be passed down generation to generation? So for whatever reason, the Nefertari family seems to be right in the middle of the ancient history. Now we see Shirahoshi being taken away by Kuma in order to be made a slave, but then we get Leo and Sai using named attacks on Saint Charlos, and I'm actually really happy to see this because I think just like me, everyone hates Charlos, and I'm very happy to see when he gets beat up on screen. Everyone around him thinks that Charlos is now dead because there's no way he could have survived this, even though I think he probably could have because there was another guy that Luffy kind of did the same thing to, and I think he also survived, so I'm not sure. He might, I don't know, this guy might be dead. I wouldn't care if he is, but I don't think he is because Oda doesn't kill people. And this might actually be the reason Fujitora and Green Bull showed up, but moving on, we see the Revolutionaries pull up and they grab Kuma and they escape underground. Now going back to focusing on King Cobra, we see Imu and she decides to sit down right in front of King Cobra, which obviously shocked not only Cobra but the Gorosei. So this might be the exact reason he was killed because he knows way too much. Going back to chapter 1060, we can see that Sabo also knows about Imu, and we know that he found Cobra's dead body. So what exactly happened? Did Sabo also see Imu, or did Cobra tell Sabo the truth as he was dying? Either way, the truth about Imu is now spreading, and this might be the catalyst to why the Great War actually starts. After centuries of the kingdoms maintaining balance, if they find out that Imu is actually the king of the world, then there's no telling what will happen. We don't know who Imu is, but there's definitely a connection to Queen Lily. There's going to be a big number of people who think that Imu is actually Queen Lily. I don't agree with this only because she spoke about her in the third person, so it's very unlikely they're the same person. Unless Imu is just like so elevated, she talks about herself in the third person. It could also be kind of like Cavendish and Hakuba, where like they're two separate personalities. So Imu might be talking about Lily in the third person because they're two different personalities, but they're the same person. You know, it's a little bit shady. shaky, but me personally, I don't think they're the same person. I definitely think she knows what happened. I think Lily might be the key to finding out the ancient history. But unfortunately, this is the end of the chapter, and this is actually one of the best ones in a while. I personally love when the chapters like revolve around mystery of the ancient kingdom. Those are the most interesting to me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about today's chapter down below in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about Queen Lily. Do you think she's Emu? Do you think Emu knows what happened? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.